Yo, what is up everybody? Popo here bringing guys a new video, and today we're going to be talking about the new changes in VGC. Let's go. Welcome everybody, and today we're going to be talking about the new changes in VGC, and this has to do with the tournament system and how you're going to be able to earn championship points during the season and stuff like that. Of course, regionals and internationals and stuff are all going to be staying the same, but if you're playing locally, trying to do those mid-season showdowns or those PC events, the premier challenges, those are no longer going to be a thing. You know, you might have gone to a place, done a double header, had a great time, but Pokemon doesn't like everybody having a great time, and they also don't want you to play as much. So they have made some changes to the fundamental system, and we're going to talk about that, what it means for competitive in general, and what it means for people getting their Worlds invites. So looking at this page, this is actually the page currently right now for the video game. If you go, and it still talks about premier challenges and mid-season showdown. So they have not updated this fully yet. Which is a little interesting. You think they would have updated this, but I guess maybe they haven't, since it's going to be starting July 1st. So the season technically is still going on. It doesn't start until next season, which is a huge change in itself right there. The season's going to be starting July 1st rather than in September, which it normally would for the video game, where as the trading card game actually starts way ahead of time, which I don't really know how I feel about that. I think that they should just go up until July, give July break off, and then Worlds, or you can even do until mid-July, something like that, and then Worlds. Of course, they stop in June, early in June. That's 2 months, so starting in July for the next season kind of can burn people out if you're playing the TCG and now VGC, because you're trying to qualify for the next Worlds, which could be an issue too. With these changes, we'll get to that actually. We'll get that in a second. So what we're seeing here is that they're still called this, but if we go to this other page under Pokemon Leagues, they have updated this one. So this one is going to tell you all about the League Cups and the League Challenges. It's going to say that you can play on the video games and Pokemon Go. That's going to be right up here. Video games. Regardless of skill experience, of course, you can go and play in these leagues. The problem with the leagues is that they have to be hosted at a game store that sells Pokemon cards and already has a league system. Of course, your store can set up a league system after the fact, but they have to be a seller of Pokemon cards. And the reason why they want this is because they want people buying Pokemon cards. And they think if the video game and Pokemon Go people are playing at these stores, they're gonna buy Pokemon cards. This also gives an out for them to be able to give prize support using Pokemon cards, which you know, it is nice for the store because it costs them less money, though a lot of the VGC tournaments have been cash prizes, or some of them have just been gift cards or something like that, and we're going to see a huge decline in that prizing support for those. I've even seen ones where Leaf is hosted where he's giving away a whole statue, so there has been some really cool prize support, and we're going to lose out on a lot of that. And if you look down here, I found something actually pretty interesting. Receive exclusive league distributions. So that has never been worded like that, and the only time they ever use distribution is for Pokemon giveaways on the video game, when they go for distributions, like when you watch the regionals and they put the little code, they call it a distribution. So the only time that they've ever used that word is for giving away Pokemon, and it's receive exclusive. I brought this up to Leaf. Leaf seems to think it's championship points. The reason why I don't think it is because it says exclusive. Championship points are not exclusive to leagues. So I do not think it is that, and he also said it could be prize packs, but they say prize packs, you don't need a trainer code. This one, you do need a trainer code, which makes me think that they will email you this distribution, so you have to have a trainer code set up, or you will not be able to take part into that distribution. So it would make the most sense. And it says to, like, the championship series events such as League Cups and League Challenges. Now, this is what I want to talk about. When you win a League Cup in TCG, it's 15 championship points. 15 right now. If you win a PC, a Premier Challenge in the video game, it's 30 championship points. So this is a huge decrease in championship points, and it's going to make it a lot harder to actually qualify. The reason why it's not harder for the TCG to qualify is because so many places actually play the card game. There are hundreds of stores just in Massachusetts, where I'm from, that play the Pokemon trading card game that do not, and I repeat, do not play the video game. There are only a handful of stores, 4 or 5 stores like in New England that play the video game and are going to let the video game go on, and we're going to see if more stores start to pick it up. I don't know, but as of right now, that's what it's looking like. We'll get that in a second too. So we're seeing a decrease in championship points. Also, the reason why I think that this is distributions, which is really cool and something I'm interested in, and something I would go out to these events to play, because I like distributed Pokemon. And this is why I think it, because the only time they ever use this, and I try to find it anywhere on the website other than this, and the only time this word exists is when it's talking about a Pokemon and them giving away Pokemon. So it being exclusive distribution is really, really cool. Like I said, that will be something that would get me to go out to these events and participate, just so I can get that Pokemon. Make sure you guys sign up a trainer account. So they also came up with this new page. This is brand new. And this is kind of just breaking down everything. There's nothing super interesting in this. They also don't show any other game besides the TCG, though they do talk about VGC and Pokemon Go. And if you just go and click on here, it says events June update. So this will tell you right here, Pokemon TCG leagues, Pokemon Go challenge leagues. And they still call it mid-season showdowns and premier challenges, though, like, they keep flip-flopping these terms where they're going, it's a league challenge, or league challenge and league cups, and the premier challenges and mid-season show. They're kind of flip-flopping on these, and that's going to get really confusing for somebody who's trying to get into it. So, like, you get promotional dice and stuff. This is all stuff you can get without having a trainer ID. You can just go, and if you're playing in these, you should be able to get these. I don't know if these are going to be given out to VGC. I have no idea. But these are pretty good cards. These are cards that actually get used in the TCG. So that's always cool that they give stuff away like that. And then it says, well, this is down, right? Well, the league will have more freedom to run events right now because there's no championship points. And it says, and lists some formats, like you could do TCGs, Gym Leader Challenge, whatever that is, Chaos Cup, which they do a lot at the regionals as side events, and then Pokemon Go's Little Cup. So they're really promoting these things, but these stores aren't going to run these video game tournaments because there's no incentive to do so. They're not making money off of it. So that is the real bottom line of the issue. And if we go and look over here, we can see all these dots in this area. This is 50 miles from Boston, so this is going to give us a pretty wide area. But the thing I want to look for is, I don't care about anything before July 1st, because July 1st is when the new Premier Challenges or League Challenges and stuff can actually take place. So we can kind of get a good look at what's going on here. So if we start on July 2nd, we could see that there's 2 League Challenges, but they're exclusively TCG. If we keep scrolling down, we could see that there's a bunch of TCG. Here in Brookline, they're actually doing a Pokemon Go tournament, though it is not CP based, so you're not going to gain anything from entering that tournament. And then we see here, they are actually hosting a CP event on July 11th there. So if you are in the Pokemon Go in this area, if you go to Lexington, this store seems to host a lot of tournaments. So if you're really into Pokemon, this might be the place to go. This is a really cool place. It's a little far from me, but and if we go down a little bit further, we can see 2 more events here, but one of them is that video game challenge. They are going to be on the same day, so that will help out the video game side of it, because there won't be any TCG players at this, like, taking up some tables, so that will help. And that, once again, is that Lexington location, so that is huge. So we've only seen one. We've seen one, and we've seen what, 3 cards already. So you could see the discrepancy here. And then we go a little bit further, and we have Leaf on the 27th. Leaf is actually hosting one. That's not too bad from me. That's pretty close. So shout out to Leaf for getting this set up. And then we have 2 more card ones, a few days apart. And then we have another video game one on the 30th, which I knew about this one, but this one is very far away. It's on a Tuesday night at 7 p.m., and that is rough for a lot of people to get to because it is so far away from the main line people in Boston. That's all the way down here. So, it's going to be really, really tough. And we can continue to see if you keep going, then, the same places are going to host the same ones. And that's what it comes down to. That's as far as it goes so far, is until August. But as you can see, it's just the same places. And the places that are hosting only card games are only going to host the card game. This place is actually doing VGC and TCG on the same night, which is probably a terrible, terrible idea. And you're going to see the decrease in actual player attendance at these events dramatically. Like, it's going to fall so far because people aren't going to go out for less CP and a more difficult venue to get to, whereas we were running these things anywhere we could in places that were convenient for people, and it was just a really good environment, and everybody was really good about it. And now it's just going to kind of drop off. I think the player base is going to fall a little bit as it becomes less accessible because of this. There's going to be less tournaments, so people are going to feel less likely that they're going to make Worlds, so they're not going to want to participate as much. And I think regional numbers will also be impacted, maybe not right away, but definitely leading into mid-season next year. I think those regional numbers will not be anywhere near what they are now. I think people being able to grind out these locals and then go to a regionals and do pretty well and be able to secure their Worlds invite was really important to the game. And a lot of people complained that they wanted Worlds to be harder and more difficult to get into. Well, here you go. This is what it's come to. It's unfortunate because gatekeeping something like this is just a terrible, terrible idea. And we should be all striving to make the game better rather than more exclusive. It shouldn't be who has the most money, which is what it's becoming, and it should be who is the better player, and that's what it should always be. And unfortunately, Pokemon right now is going down that line of, hey, if you want to play in this and you want to do this, you got to spend thousands of dollars, not $1,000, not $2,000, thousands and thousands of dollars to participate in this. Well, people from the TCG can buy their deck for $30-$40. The best decks are $30-$40. Up to $100 at most. Then they can just, go and play these locals, grind out the locals, and go to one regional, do well, and make Worlds, and nobody's complaining about that, which I think is great. But now VGC has to suffer, and it already was a small community, and now it's just gonna kind of fizzle out and be where it used to be. So, unfortunate decisions by the Pokemon Company, and hopefully something is done about this in the future. Maybe more stores will pick it up, but it's very unlikely because financially it just doesn't make sense to have a bunch of video game people who haven't spent any money in your store come and play. Even if they're charging $10-$15, they're just not going to justify it when they could just have TCG players and charge them the same amount, and those people might buy cards. Especially the parents and the kids, they're gonna want to buy packs and stuff. A lot of the older players and players who are established probably aren't buying cards from the store, but you never know. Also, people selling cards to the store, buying snacks and stuff, it all adds up, and just financially it makes more sense for these stores. It's the reason why we couldn't get VGC going in the first place around here. It was really, really hard. It took us, we've been trying for 7 years, Leaf and I. We've asked every store in the area until somebody finally gave us a chance, a few years ago. And, Leaf has built a really good community out of it. And unfortunately, it's going down. He is trying, he's grinding out, so are a lot of the other TOs. So shout out to them for really trying to keep the community going. But we'll see how long these stores keep us until They just go, yeah, you know what? I'd rather just have TCG players. You know, same with the Pokemon Go. We see Pokemon Go only had, you know, one place that's doing the Go tournaments. So, like, it's just really rough out here, and it's just really unfortunate. Just, you know, cutting off. There are areas where this is going to be fine, where it's not even going to be a big deal. But this is Boston. This is all of New England. I wouldn't even say this is Boston. This is all of New England. And that's a huge community, and we're just kind of left out to dry, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe if you're not, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.